If you have too much money, the money doesn't really matter. But if you have too less, it really matters a lot. I was earning 25,000 a month to now earning 5,12,500. Let's break it down. Hi, I'm Dilnawaz, 33 years old, living in Gurgaon. My overall salary is 80 lakhs. Out of this 80 lakhs, 60 lakh is my base salary and 20 lakhs is the variable salary. It took me 10 years to reach here. My initial salary was 3.5 lakh. I used to work at a company named Infosys. I used to earn 25,000 a month. From that, switching 7 jobs and essentially finally reaching at this number. I upskilled a lot. That's super important. I am an engineer. So for me, what matters to me is how better code I can write. So I was constantly going to Udemy, Coursera, all these platforms to learn a lot of things, and then switching every 2 years, getting almost 40-50% hike and essentially reaching where I am today. If you stay on the same job for a long time, generally it does not pay much. I come from a very humble middle class background, so I have never seen, big amounts or big pocket monies in my early days. You can either be loyal or be earning more. I chose the path where I wanted to earn more. My variable pay, which is 20 lakhs, this is not really fixed. It depends on my performance, which basically means if I perform really well in my organization, I might get even higher than that. Could be 25, could be 30. But if I do not perform really well, it could be the base would be 20 lakhs. I don't have any RSUs, that's zero in my salary. But the interesting part now is 2 more components that are my side income. The first comes from my content creation. I am also a part-time YouTuber. I teach investing there. I've been doing it for the last 2 years, and if I just average it out, I'm earning close to 5 lakhs in a year from content creation. If I walk you through the calculation, I generally make like 4 videos in a month. I pay the editor for like 10,000 per video, so 40K goes there, and then I have my setup, but let's ignore that's one-time cost. And then every month from YouTube ads, I generally get like 10,000, and from brand collaborations, I generally get 70,000. Overall, 80,000 a month that's I earn from YouTube, and then so in a year, I generally get like 10 lakhs. Out of this 10 lakh, I lose 5 lakh because I spent on editing and all that stuff. So I'm left with like 5 lakhs. Thumbnails I make myself, story I might write myself, the scripts I write myself, and hence I don't have any other cost. If that would have been the case, the cost would have been much higher. So overall, 5 lakhs is my earning from content creation. And interestingly, since I was constantly jumping and moving to a new package, I also believe in investing a lot. I also purchased a piece of land in Goa. So basically I have 2 pieces of properties in Goa. One is residential, one is commercial. The commercial property, I actually leased it out to Apollo Pharmacy, and that is now on a 15-year lease, and it fetches me close to 8 lakhs a year. Now that brings my total gross income to 93 lakhs. Now let's get to deductions. The first deduction, which breaks my heart every single year, that is income tax. I have to pay close to 24 lakh income tax because I am at a highest slab, which is close to 30%, and then surcharge and all that stuff. So that 24 lakhs goes in income tax. That's part of my salary, that 80 lakh. Now the other income that I make from YouTube and also from my property, I also pay taxes on that. It is approximately 3 lakhs. I can tell you one interesting thing here. If you earn from rental income, 30% goes to standard deduction. So my 8 lakhs, 30% is deducted as per standard deduction. It leaves me 5.6 lakhs. I have to pay taxes on this part, which approximately comes to like 1.6 lakhs. And then I have YouTube content creation, which is essentially 5 lakhs. And I pay close to 1.5 lakhs taxes on this, which brings my total taxes to 3 lakhs here on this side income part. Apart from this, another deduction, which is not actually a deduction, but more or less asset building, is my provident fund. Since I have a higher salary, my PF is very high, which basically means approximately I save in EPF like 4.5 lakhs in a year. So that is total deductions in my overall earnings in a month. That brings my total deduction to 31 lakh 50,000. So that makes my annual take home as 61 lakh 50,000, which basically brings my monthly take home as 5 lakh 12,500. Let's get into my monthly expenses. I break my expenses into 3 different parts. The first is survival, which is necessary. The second is investments, which is also very important. And the third is enjoyment, which is again super important. Let's get into the first part, which is survival. The first thing, since I live in Gurgaon and the rent is moderately high there, it depends obviously on the kind of money you want to spend. I pay 30,000 for rent. I lived in a shared 3 BHK apartment with 2 of my colleagues at my office. So I essentially have to pay 30,000 rent, which is decent. If you look at my salary, the amount of rent I'm paying is very less, which also gives me a lot of money to spend on some other places. So that's the first major expense I have, rent as 30,000. The second, again, a bigger survival expense I have is food, which overall comes out to be 20,000. In this 20,000, essentially groceries, if I talk about, that's close to 8,000. That I generally, Blinkit and all the stuff that I keep ordering from, and my maid just cooks all that. But the major part of this is 12,000, which comes out from my bad habit of eating out. So 12,000 actually on an average goes every month in eating out. Two very important expenses I make, which is essential. Everyone, I believe, should make these two expenses. The first is a term plan. Extremely important. If something happens to your life, what about your loved ones? And hence, that's something I absolutely make it happen every almost like 6 years I've been doing it. So 2,500 is what I pay for a term plan every month. My term plan is almost like 5 CR, close to 5 CR. And then the second absolutely important expense is health insurance. As I was growing, my dad was a bit sick. We used to go to hospitals a lot, which basically means a lot of money went into hospitals. And sadly, we didn't have any health insurance, which basically told me this understanding. Basically, I always need to have a health insurance, because you could be saving for like 5 years or 10 years, investing in that. One tragedy, one accident can just take it off, completely could take it off. Although my company covers that health for me, but at the same time, if I leave my job, I'll be left unallocated, and hence I also have my specific health insurance. I kind of pay 2,000 per month for my health insurance, which covers close to 40 lakhs of damages. The next big expense I have in my survival bucket is transportation. I spend close to 8,000 in transportation. Out of this 8,000, there are like two buckets. Since I live literally right opposite to my office, it's just 2 minutes away, and I also love bike rides a lot. So I generally go to office by my bike, and then the amount of fuel used on a bike is very low, close to let's say 1,000 on bike fuel that I used to from my home to office. And then the second bigger expense, which is let's say 7,000 for transportation, is not actually for office, but after work, I generally like to socialize. I like to go out, as I said, eating out. So I have to take my car for that. So 7,000 generally would be my average car fuel I spend every month. The next expense is utilities. This majorly covers, maid and all those other expenses, which is close to 7,000 I spend in a month on utilities. Now, if you add all this up, this totally brings my essential like survival expenses to just 70,000. Now, you'd also notice it is on a very lower side for someone earning that amount of money, but I think that comes from my background. I have born and raised in a middle class family. I don't know. I just can't spend crazy amount of money. This is who I am. So just 70,000, which just leaves me a lot of room for investments and to build assets. The second bucket, which is investments, this is the most important bucket, and this is the reason I am where I am today. I'm investing 2 lakhs in SIPs every single month. The remaining amount goes for lump sum investing. Now 4 funds and 2 lakhs, split simply 50,000 each. I'll walk you through. The first fund, which is extremely important, is a multi-asset fund. 50,000 I pay on this fund. Been doing it for the last couple of years. Why? So you get equity, you get debt, you get gold, and you also get international exposure. Second fund. Now, a lot of people keep debating all the time about small cap, mid cap, large cap, what exactly they need. You just need a flexi cap. Now, third part is global investing. So I'll just talk about one right now. For example, like US NASDAQ is a great investment option there as well. So the next 50,000 goes in international funds for my global macro investing. And finally, the last 50,000 goes in gold and silver. Commodities have their own space. If you are someone who had been investing purely in equity, you would be running in a bad pool for the last 2 years. Your mom probably would be sitting at a much great profit. In the last couple of years, gold has given a huge run up. And hence, I also realize the importance of gold and any commodity in your portfolio. And hence, gold and silver also makes up 50,000 per month in my SIPs. That brings my total to 2 lakhs. Now, the next very important part is EMIs. And these EMIs are not for end use. I am not buying a home and living in it and then paying EMI for that. I believe more in investments. The next 70,000 I pay for 2 different EMIs. Now, I talked about my real estate in the beginning as well. If I talk about, I have 2 pieces of properties in Goa and I have 2 pieces of properties in Bareilly. Bareilly because that's my hometown, Goa because that's the place I would love to retire. 2 pieces of properties in Goa is one residential, one commercial, but those are fully paid. I have not taken any loan on that. But the 2 properties I have in Bareilly, those are all plots. I am building a villa on it. Those are again for end use. I'm trying to build a multi-story 3 BHK there and put it on rent. I've taken a plot plus construction loan. If you've if you're not sure about it, you can basically buy that by, you initially procure a plot, you pay 20%, the bank pays 80%, and then as you start construction, the bank pays you for that and you can slowly pay that back. So I've taken 2 loans, which essentially total comes out to be 70,000. That's the EMI I'm paying. But again, this is also investment because this is not for end use. I'm gonna earn a lot of money from these investments as well, which totally brings my final investments as 2.7 lakh a month. So now comes the most interesting part and the most exciting part, and that is my enjoyment bucket. The only thing I absolutely love is travel. So every month, there are like 2 different investments I do. I put close to 40,000 a month in my international travel bucket, and I also put 20,000 a month in my domestic travel bucket. Now I take in general 3 international trips in a year. So this amount close to 5 lakhs goes into that, and I take close to 5 to 6 domestic trips, and this 2.4 lakhs goes into that. Overall, I spend 60,000 a month for this enjoyment bucket. Now, if you add all these numbers up, this leaves me an unallocated surplus of 1.2 lakhs every month in my account. Now, what do I exactly do with this amount? And this is also a very interesting amount and something which I really love I can do with this amount. The first thing that goes out from this unallocated surplus is my charity. I believe whatever I've done in my life is all because of education. My parents helped me actually get through this great education. Even when the financial problem was there in my family, even then I was allowed to study and go out and do all that. I want to do the same thing for a lot of other people. And hence, 5 years ago, I started this thing where I always wanted to fund the education till the graduation of any underprivileged child. I adopt 1 kid, and for that kid, I pay the entire fees for the year, and I've promised their parents that I'll pay for their education for the next 10-15 years, probably by the time they graduate. The 3 years I've been doing it, so I have 3 kids right now. Every year, hopefully, I'll be keep adding 1 more kid. My salary must go on for that, but I'll be adding 1 more kid every single year. The second thing that goes out in this unallocated surplus is I've recently got this habit of photography and videography. I was trying to create a new travel page to show my life because I travel a lot. So I need DSLRs, I need drones, I need expensive cameras, expensive gadgets. So this amount also goes into that. The third amount which could go out from this unallocated surplus is for my mom. I just have my mom actually in my family, my mom and brother. So for my mom, I would gift a lot of stuff. So every month I would try to buy something for her, literally something. It could be a small thing, it could be a big thing, but I would do something for her and just keep buying random gifts and just send it to her. That's the third expense I do it from this unallocated surplus. And finally, if I still have some money left, I would love it to deploy it in lump sum when the market crashes. I have built an emergency fund first, and then I started investing, not the other way around. I would not invest before having an emergency fund. Now, what exactly is an emergency fund? It basically means you can lose your job tomorrow. I can lose my job any day. What happens after that? If you have realized in my expenses, I spent 70K on my survival and 70K on my EMIs, which is 1.4 lakh. This is the absolute minimum I need to have in my account. The remaining amount is just discretionary, I can just ignore that. But 1.4 lakh, this is necessary, I need to have every single month in my account. 1.4 lakhs into 12 months of expenses. If those are saved for the next 12 months, you're completely covered. In my case, 1.4 lakhs into 12 comes out to somewhere 16.8 lakhs. So 17 lakhs is the amount I have saved as my emergency fund. This unallocated surplus that I had, let's say if I had some bigger amount, I would just put it in FD. The reason I'm saying FD, I have no expectation of growth from this bucket. This is my emergency bucket. So I've broken this down into 4 FDs. 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs and 2 lakhs. The reason the last bucket is just 2 lakhs is because maybe I need an emergency for just 1 month. I would have to break my absolutely smallest FD, which is just of 2 lakhs. If something bigger happens, I'll break 1 more FD. If even bigger, then I'll break more FDs. This basically means I don't have to break 1 big FD and pay a lot of fees. I'll have to pay specifically on the amount I use from this. And the moment I consume something from my emergency fund, I would do anything to put it back as soon as possible.